You know those massive buildings you always see on the side of the highway? Ever wonder what's actually going on inside? Well, today we're going to take a trip deep into the world of a modern factory. We're going to break down all the hidden systems that turn basic stuff into the products we use, like every single day.
So when you think factory, you probably picture a big, noisy place, right? Sparks flying, lots of steam. But a modern factory, it's way more than that. Think of it like a super complex ecosystem. It's this incredible, carefully choreographed dance between people who know their stuff, super powerful machines, and a really strict set of rules that controls every single move.
Okay, so to kick off our tour, first things first, we've got to get the lay of the land. We're going to explore the physical space of the factory and see how even something as basic as time is organized just to keep everything moving.
All right, let's start with a big picture. At its heart, a factory is, a place where stuff gets made or put together, mostly by machines. Simple enough, right? That's our stage. But the real magic, the real magic, isn't in what it is. It's in how that whole stage is organized and split up to be unbelievably efficient.
See, a factory isn't just one giant room. No way. It's cleverly split into these specialized teams called departments. And you've got two main players here. First, there's production. These are the folks actually making the product. Then you have maintenance, the heroes who keep all the complicated machines from breaking down. Production might build the car, but maintenance makes sure the assembly line doesn't just grind to a halt. You absolutely need both.
So how in the world do you keep this whole thing running 24/7? Well, the answer is the shift. To get the most out of every single minute, the day is chopped up into these blocks of time. Each shift is its own team, and they just seamlessly take over from the team before them. It's like a relay race, making sure the machines never stop and those production goals are always hit.
All right, so we've got the where and the when figured out. But maybe the most important part of any factory is the who. So this next part is all about the people, the folks you'll be working with, and the whole structure that keeps everyone organized.
You'll find that every factory has a really clear social structure, and it's all designed for efficiency. It breaks down like this. Your colleagues, they're your teammates, right there on the line with you. Your supervisor is your direct boss, the person you go to for your daily tasks and any questions you have. Then, looking after the whole department, you've got the manager. They're focused on the big picture. And look, understanding this chain of command isn't just about knowing who's in charge. It's about knowing exactly who to talk to get things done fast.
Okay, so now that we know the players, let's talk about the playbook. Every system this complex has rules, right? But in a factory, surrounded by all this heavy machinery, these rules aren't just about being successful. They are about survival. And this really gets to the heart of the factory mindset. Safety isn't just some poster on the wall. It's not just a list of rules you have to memorize. It's treated as the absolute foundation of, everything. It's a shared culture. It means every single person is responsible for looking out for themselves and for everybody else on their team.
So what does that culture actually look like day to day? Well, it means you follow every single safety rule, no exceptions. That means always wearing your personal protective equipment, your PPE. We're talking helmets, safety glasses, the whole deal. It means you know where the emergency exits are without even thinking about it. And maybe most important of all, it means having that see something, say something mindset. If a machine sounds weird or you see a safety guard that's out of place, you report it immediately.
So how do you become a really valuable part of this whole system? Well, it's kind of like a three-step journey. First up is training. That's where you learn the official way to do things. Then you get experience. That's just putting that training to work on the job, day in and day out. And finally, when you mix that formal training with all that hands-on experience, that's when you get real skill. The ability to do your job not just the right way, but to do it efficiently and safely every single time.
And once you've got that skill, that's when you're given real responsibility. And this isn't just a to-do list, it's a professional duty you have to your team, to the company, a duty to do your work at a really high standard. It's all about taking ownership and having pride in your little piece of the giant production puzzle.
All right, so you're trained up, you understand the rules, you're ready to get to work. So what's next? What happens when you finally step out onto that factory floor?
Well, that brings us to our next section, your first task. This is where all that theory goes out the window and the real work begins. It's time to put those new skills into action.
Now, don't worry. You're not going to be expected to build the whole thing by yourself. The entire process is broken down into these small, manageable pieces. Your supervisor will give you a specific task. That's your one job, your individual contribution to this massive assembly line. And mastering that one task, that's the key to the success of the whole system.
And to do that task, you're going to use a machine. This is your main tool. And let me tell you, it's probably way more powerful and complicated than anything you've ever used. So understanding how it works, respecting its power, and using it exactly the way you were trained, that is the most fundamental part of your job. Period.
So what are you actually making? You're creating something called a profile. Now that might sound technical, but in manufacturing, it just means the specific shape of the product. Think about an aluminum window frame, for example. That distinct shape, that's a profile. So your task with your machine is to create that exact profile with perfect consistency over and over and over again.
But, just physically making stuff is only half the battle. What's just as important is how information flows. So in our final section, we're going to look at the communication loop. This is the invisible system that keeps the whole factory humming along.
Good communication in a factory is a two-way street. It's not just about getting orders. It starts with an instruction from your supervisor, sure, but it absolutely does not end there. The next step, clarification, is critical. In a place where one tiny mistake could be super costly or even dangerous, listen, there is no such thing as a dumb question. Making sure you understand an instruction perfectly is always better than just guessing and hoping for the best.
And finally, once your task is done, you close that communication loop by making a report. This is just you formally telling your supervisor, hey, the job's done, or I'm at this point now. And that one simple action, that's the trigger. That's what tells the next person down the line that it's their turn to start.
So why is this whole communication thing so important? Well, because it hits the three big pillars of a successful factory. 1, it boosts efficiency. Clear instructions mean no wasted time. 2, it enhances safety because you get rid of dangerous misunderstandings. And 3, it guarantees quality, making sure the job gets done right the first time, every time.
So there you have it. A factory isn't just a building, is it? It's this finely tuned system of space, time, people, and rules, all working together in perfect harmony. We've just pulled back the curtain on the hidden system that runs a factory. Which kind of leaves us with one last question to think about. What other hidden systems, with their own unique rules, their own roles and responsibilities, are running the world all around you?